Hey everyone, this is Charlie here with Surplus Systems. In this video here, I'm going to walk you guys through a new KPI dashboard that you can actually use with either yourself or you can use with your team to help you stay up to date with your KPIs and make sure that you do what you need to do to be able to actually close deals and build your business long term. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how this is all set up, and then I'm going to explain how you actually go about filling this in. All right. So on the database, this is where you actually put all your details, right? So if today was the 27th, then right here, I just put in the date here. I'll put how many calls I made. And out of those many calls, how many of them I actually had a lot of conversation with. And then you pull in how long those calls were. Did you schedule any follow-up calls for the day? Did you get any qualified leads that day? Did you schedule any appointments either for yourself or did your virtual assistant schedule appointments for you? We're going to automatically put in here the conversion rate for you. And then we automatically going to pull in the call to lead ratio for you. And then here you'll fill in if you completed any follow-up calls. And then we automatically going to create your percentage of follow-up calls that's completed, okay? And then any deals was closed, the revenue you made from those deals, okay? And then this right here is all it's going to just be, you just put in the year, in the month, okay, in the week. And then we'll take care of everything else as far as the statistics, okay? Now let's go over why this is so important, especially if you have a virtual assistant. If you have a virtual assistant and you see that they're making a bunch of calls, but they're not actually speaking to anyone, that is a sign that you may need to look into your data or your skip tracer, okay? Now, if you see that there's a lot of calls, there is a lot of live conversations, but there is no qualified leads coming in, or there's no appointments being scheduled, then you definitely want to have a conversation with your virtual assistant to find out what exactly is happening on those calls, because they actually speaking to people, they just not converted, okay? So that tells me that is a skill set challenge, okay? So you may have to work with your virtual assistant to increase their skills, okay? Now, another thing that goes into this is call duration, okay? If you see that they're making a lot of calls, they're speaking to a lot of people, but you see the call duration is under, let's say, 60 seconds, then that tells me that your agent may need to tweak what they said at the beginning of the call, because then that means that as soon as the potential claimant hear the person on the other end, they just hanging up right away. That's if you have a short call duration. If you have a long call duration, that is a good sign. That means people are staying on the phone. But if you have a long call duration, but there's no deals or no appointments or leads being qualified, then you may want to have your virtual assistant, your agent, send you the live call recording so you can listen to the full calls, and then that will help you identify any gaps that you need to chew up with your agent making those calls, okay? So what happens is once we put the data here, it's automatically going to show up right here on our dashboard, okay? So you're going to have your weekly follow-up completion percentage going to pop up here. The conversion percentage is going to pop up here. And then a lot of your data, right? Live conversations, the revenue generated, call to lead ratio, any appointment schedule, any qualified leads, okay? Now, the way this works is you can actually filter this, okay? If you want to filter it based on the year, you just click here, you just choose the year. If you want to filter it based on the month, so let's say I got all these months. I say I just want to have January. So then I'm just going to choose January, click OK. You see how it updated for the whole month of January, okay? Now, if I just want to look at a specific week in January, then I just say, let's look at the first week of January. Everything's going to change there. Or if I just want to look at the first 2 weeks of January, everything is going to fill in for me there. Okay. If I just want to look at my stats on a specific day right here, I just got to click here, double click. And I say I want to see my stats from the 6th of January. Once I do that, everything up here is going to get updated for me right there. Okay. Now, this right here is going to show you your stats on a week by week basis, okay? So I'll give you an example. So right now we have January, and I said we want to look at all the weeks in the month of January. So now this is telling me, okay, weekly live conversations. I'll be able to see the pattern of growth, right? So I'll be like, man, first week, okay, my VA 15 live, 35, 35, 35. What happened from the last 3 weeks compared to this week to why they only have 5? So this is right here a really good talking point where you can meet up with your VA. You can actually have some data to back up your conversation with them, okay? So this is going to give you a week-by-week basis for your live conversations, your call-to-lead ratio, any appointment schedule, and then also any leads identified, okay? So this is a KPI sheet, right? You can get this to your VA. Just have them fill in this information. So they only need to fill in the date, the calls made, how many conversations, call duration, any follow-up calls that were scheduled, any identified leads here, that they scheduled the appointments here, and then the follow-up completion, have them fill up how many follow-ups they actually completed, okay? How your VA fill that information out, so then that way you could come in on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. You'll be able to come in and see exactly what is going on and what's currently happening with your business, all right? So, hey, this is Charlie with Surplus Systems. I hope you guys enjoy this new KPI scorecard and hope you put it to some use. Thanks.